Valley News Live at 10. Cleanup now underway in the valley after yesterday's storm dumped a foot of snow in many places.
Plus, high winds leading to closed roads at this hour. We'll tell you when you can expect them to open up.
And we get ready to turn our attention now to the spring melt. What local leaders say they need from you this flood season. Valley News Live at 10 starts right now.
This is Valley News Live at 10.
Thanks for joining us tonight. The snow is mostly stopped, but the cleanup continues on this first alert weather day.
Tonight, NDDOT and Highway Patrol officials say constant winds have made it nearly impossible to make any progress clearing roads, especially in open areas like you just saw from east of Jamestown earlier today.
Yeah, it's why so many roads all across North Dakota remain closed right now, including parts of I-94, I-29. Just in, though, 19th Avenue North in North Fargo will reopen at 7 a.m.
With more on the current conditions, Valley News Team's Reed Gregory joins us tonight with the latest. Reed, how's it looking?
Good evening, Stacy. Good evening, Justin. I tell you what, we are right here off of I-29 and 32nd Avenue at the Flying J truck stop. And you want to talk about those winds and those road conditions? Check this out behind me. You can see a plethora of semi-truck drivers who have decided to pull over into this truck stop and either spend some time to let those winds die down or just go ahead and spend the night here in Fargo just to avoid and kind of, be cautious of those winds as those, winds can get pretty hectic. We spoke with some officials at the Minnesota Department of Transportation as well as in the North Dakota Department of Transportation, and they spoke about how when those semis are really high and they're traveling at that high rate of speed, it can get really treacherous and you can eventually see those tip overs and those rollovers. Also, too, I'm hoping it starts to come this way because those plows are making their rounds. I can confidently say that the rebuilding has begun when it comes to looking towards the future on some of those warmer days, and then as you guys just said, hopefully starting to deal with that melt off. So we're going to try to keep everybody up to date going into tomorrow as well. I know things warm up, and then as you guys said, we get into those flooding seasons. We're going to try to keep everybody updated with things going on tomorrow as well as later on tonight. For now, reporting in South Fargo, Reed Gregory, Valley News Live.
Thanks, Reed. Of course, those semis can't go anywhere with the highways closed. Yeah. NDDOT plans to start working at 2 a.m. to start clearing roads. They'll reevaluate potentially reopening the highways in the morning.
Meanwhile, on the other side of the Red River, highways are open, but the problems remain the same.
Valley News Team Zoe Jones spoke with Minnesota officials today about how the high winds are making cleanup very difficult.
After an interesting April blizzard, Minnesota officials are working hard to clear the roads. They say one of the factors that makes cleanup so difficult after a big storm, especially in rural areas, is the wind.
Well, for the highway department, it adds a little extra time for them. They're trying to clear the roads as quick as they can, but obviously the wind is causing a little bit of a problem with that.
The high speed of the wind causes snow drifts and a lack of visibility. And in some areas, you may not even be able to tell if you're on the road.
The other thing to be cautious of is where the road ends and where the ditch starts, especially if you meet another vehicle on the road, because you can't tell where the road is at sometimes out there.
Officials say that unfortunately this isn't something that's uncommon for the area, but it still can be hard to work around.
Well, that's just it. When it comes to the Red River Valley, that's some of our biggest issues is dealing with the wind. I mean, when things start to clear up and let up as far as maybe you don't have the snow and some of that other precipitation, you are going to deal with the wind that's going to take some of this light fluffy snow that's not stuck down to the ground, and it does cause issues with visibility.
Which leaves officials encouraging everyone to slow down and take it easy.
Try to move over when you see those flashing lights out there, and if you can't move over, at least slow down.
It's an absolute must to travel. Make sure you're slowing down. You're definitely going to be able to get to where you need to go. You just need to drive slow, use caution on those roads.
In Moorhead, Zoe Jones, Valley News Live.
And with the high winds blocking visibility in many areas, be sure you have the VNL weather app to stay in the know before you go.
As for what Mother Nature has in store for us next, as you see, skies are looking a bit clearer tonight. Here's First Alert Storm Team Chief Meteorologist Hutch Johnson with the latest. Hutch.
Yeah, we are going in the right direction, but we still have areas with concerns. Blizzard warnings do continue. We have gusty winds and, impossible travel conditions. First Alert Weather Day continues overnight for some areas, as we'll have terrible conditions. Winds have gusted today over 40 and even over 50 miles per hour in the Rolla area. Here's a look at snowfall totals if you missed them from earlier. Numerous locations, including Thief River Falls, Jamestown, Grand Forks, Montpelier, Larimore, Park River, Westport. How about Northwood and Thompson? All over a foot of snow. And speaking of joining the 1 Foot Club, we did get a report from a viewer out in the West Fargo area with those dashes of snow that have been hitting this evening. They've seen their total go up 1.5 inches from 10.5 earlier. So 12 inches there, 11 inches in Aberdeen, Roseau 12 inches as well, with a number of places over 8. Many reports of 6 to 8 in the FM area, including over 7 in Moorhead. Some tricky travel out there in the Binford area, and that's kind of in that area along Highway 200 where this batch is set up. 8 hours worth of this persistent snow band here, on and off, more sporadic across portions in the Northern Valley, including Grand Forks and Polk County, and not even showing up on the radar. I had folks out there in Wadena County say, your radar isn't showing anything. How come, Hutch? It's been snowing here all day. Well, Wadena, radar is far away from you. It tends to shoot over the top of these very shallow snow shower producing clouds. That's what's going on there. Winds finally showing signs of tapering off. We still have some gusts that are well over 30 miles per hour, keeping visibilities reduced as well. So dangerous travel, stay home if you can. Here's a look at the snow band locator. You get far away from the radar, it doesn't work as well, but we could certainly see the areas that did get pinned with the foot of snow. Little bite taken out of the storm, including the western parts of the metro, eastern parts of the metro, I should say. That's just a result of us getting hit with that little dry punch that worked its way in, and the developing snow overnight just clipped us on the western and northern fringes. Blizzard warning continues. I'll have hour-by-hour details on improvement in your forecast here in just a minute.
That sounds good. Thanks,
Right?
Hutch.
It's been a while. Thanks, Hutch. As we put the winter storm behind us, our attention is now quickly shifting, however, to the spring melt. National Weather Service officials are anticipating this year's flood to be similar to 2011. Pretty serious. We'll get new information from them tomorrow, but at this point, most locations along the banks of the Red River now have a more than 50% chance, a better than 50-50 chance of seeing moderate to major flooding. Cass County officials are asking for volunteers to help fill sandbags next week. Sandbag operations start Tuesday. They'll continue through Wednesday, April 19th, so about a week and a half at the Cass County Highway Department in West Fargo. Volunteer shifts usually last 2 to 3 hours. If you're interested in helping, you can sign up by calling the number on your screen or clicking on this story on the VNL News app.
Crews in Fargo have a new challenge tonight, finding a place for all this new snow. Now, it typically goes to Mount Fargo up in North Fargo by the landfill. That sits at 70 feet right now, but Public Works crews say they can't put more snow onto Mount Fargo because the road to get there is too muddy and the trucks can't get to it.
Mount Fargo won't be growing anymore this time. We've actually haven't been able to get into the site just with the warmer temperatures. Our hauling road is all mud and rutted up.
So where does all this snow go now? Crews are hauling snow to 2 different locations, 44th Avenue South and 45th Street and 3rd Avenue. But they say they're already worried about those spots now filling up. Sleep has been minimal for most snow crews, not only this week, but for the last 5 months. We spoke with a local private snow removal company today. They say they help make sure parking lots for clinics, schools, and apartments are clean. In 5 years of pushing snow, one driver tells us this winter has been the busiest. And other crew members agree, saying the most challenging part of this winter was the fact that many of the storms came overnight.
We'll get out and everything won't be clean by the time everybody comes to work because, you know, it's a late storm, so then everybody's wondering what you're doing all night long. And
they say while their priority since last night has solely been to keep things open, the focus now shifts to what they're calling a final tomorrow morning.
Many Twin Cities neighborhoods are also cleaning up tonight. A little different, though. The blizzard knocked down trees, knocked out power to nearly 300,000 customers. More ice down the Twin Cities. The lights are back on now. Homeowners and contractors still face many challenges, however, saying the last round, that heavy, wet, icy snow seemed to just put an exclamation point on what's been a difficult season.
It sounded like something was about to come through my house. It was really scary. I got really lucky there. My neighbor came and took a look at it, and he's like, I got really lucky with where it fell and how it fell.
About a tree coming down on that house. Again, make sure you have the VNL weather app on your phone. You can stay up to date on our First Alert weather days and anything Mother Nature sends our way. You can download and use that for free, searching VNL weather in the App Store.
New for you tonight, Fargo police need help finding the man on your screen. They believe he used a stolen credit card to make several purchases at a local business. If you have any information, you can contact police at the number on your screen.
North Dakota lawmakers won't be studying the effectiveness of the mRNA vaccines on a state level. In January, lawmakers introduced a Senate bill to criminalize even using that style of vaccine. In February, the bill was reduced, watered down to just a study. Well, this week it was defeated in the House by a vote of 38 to 53, the issue prompting a lot of debate.
I think this has a lot of potential, at least learning about the long-term effects of vaccines and seeing what we can do long-term for the people of North Dakota and how that could hopefully shape our policies.
Opponents say the bill would be expensive, given that the national studies already show mRNA vaccines are safe and effective. Lawmakers also voted down House Bill 1200 that would have prevented public colleges and universities from requiring COVID vaccines for students. They, however, passed House Bill 1502 that prevents hospitals from denying patients care based on vaccination status.
At the core of the pro-life movement is the idea that life begins at conception, and that's something lawmakers in North Dakota want to instill in the minds of young people. The House of Representatives voted to advance the House bill we've been telling you about, which requires K-12 schools to show a video at least 3 minutes long of a high-definition ultrasound showing the development of the brain, heart, and other vital organs in early fetal development. It passed both chambers with veto-proof majorities, now heads to the governor's desk.
Still ahead on Valley News Live at 10, we'll show you some of our exclusive one-on-one sit-down interview with Minnesota Governor Tim Walz. Here are his expectations for the upcoming state budget.
And in weather, there's a lot going on, but you can't tell by this picture. Coming up, we'll reload the computer. Well, there we go. Take a look at how things will be changing as we head towards some warmer weather right after this.